Have you ever imagined a scenario so unexpected that it shakes the entire NBA? Well, that's exactly what happened when Luka Don, one of the league's premier playmakers, suddenly found himself donning the purple and gold of the Los Angeles Lakers. This development sent shockwaves across social media and left Mavericks fans outraged. But here's the twist. Rather than instantly transforming the Lakers into title favorites, Luka's arrival has sparked skepticism, controversies, and plenty of drama. From awkward on-court chemistry to swirling rumors about his future, the story is more complicated than anyone could have predicted. And the real question looms: can the Lakers salvage this massive gamble before it spirals even further out of control? It all began with a blockbuster deal few people saw coming. The Dallas Mavericks, long believed to be wholly committed to building around Luka, stunned the league by parting ways with their superstar. Discontent behind the scenes? A falling out with the front office? The reasons remain murky, but the outcome was undeniable. Luka landed in Los Angeles, and Anthony Davis headed to Dallas along with some young prospects and future draft picks. The initial fan reaction was explosive. Mavericks fans, who'd watched Luka blossom into one of the most dynamic offensive players in basketball, felt betrayed. They questioned their front office's competence, claiming the haul simply wasn't enough to justify losing a once-in-a-generation playmaker. Lakers fans, on the other hand, were torn between excitement at having Luka and heartbreak at letting a cornerstone like Davis go. After all, Davis had been an integral part of Los Angeles' most recent title run. This trade seemed to be a bet on the Lakers' future rather than an immediate push for another championship. And that gamble felt bigger with every passing day. A few games into Luka's tenure, reality set in. Instead of unleashing dazzling triple-doubles or effortless 30-point nights, Luka appeared out of sync and, at times, visibly frustrated. His shooting percentage plummeted to uncharacteristic lows, and his assists dropped as well. The synergy fans expected with LeBron James never fully materialized. Even more concerning, the Lakers lost to teams that were openly tanking. Organizations playing a ragtag group of youngsters who shouldn't outmatch a roster featuring LeBron and Luka. Naturally, people were quick to point out Luka's well-known defensive shortcomings. No one has ever called him a defensive stopper, but in Dallas, his offense used to offset any shortcomings on that end. In Los Angeles, though, fans were seeing a Luka who wasn't dropping 35 points per game and wasn't compensating with hustle plays or quick rotations. Worse, some critics began questioning his conditioning. Had he arrived unprepared for the added spotlight, or was something else going on? When you combine two ball-dominant stars like LeBron and Luka, questions about fit will inevitably arise. With the Lakers, LeBron has always been the primary facilitator, controlling the ball and orchestrating plays. Meanwhile, Luka's game also thrives when everything flows through him. His signature spread pick-and-roll sets, high ball screens, and step-back threes. The immediate clash of styles became evident. Who handles the ball late in the shot clock? Who initiates offense in crunch time? Moreover, the front-court situation made matters worse. Before Luka's arrival, there were rumors that Los Angeles intended to fortify its interior presence. The Mark Williams fiasco, where a proposed deal fell through due to a questionable medical report, left the Lakers without the lob threat Luka was accustomed to. In Dallas, he had big men who excelled in rolling to the rim and finishing lobs, creating the perfect environment for Luka's pinpoint passes. In Los Angeles, that option vanished. Spacing grew cramped, and possessions collapsed all too often. It's not just the pick and roll that suffered. The entire tempo of the offense bogged down. Instead of crisp ball movement and open lanes, the Lakers resorted to isolation plays and last-second heaves. Luka wasn't the only one struggling. LeBron, at times, found himself deferring in ways that lacked consistency. The result was a disjointed offense in desperate need of an identity. Naturally, speculation exploded on talk shows and social media. Was Luka already frustrated with head coach decisions? Had the Lakers staff tried to force him into a system that didn't align with his strengths? Some whispered that LeBron and Luka were vying for the same role on offense, creating tension neither one wanted to admit publicly. Others suggested that Luka's slump might be tied to lingering injuries or ongoing conditioning issues. He reportedly came to LA nursing a calf strain that limited his cardio workouts. Rumors also circulated that the Lakers, feeling pressured to keep Luka happy, were frantically surveying the market for another big man to salvage the season. The front office's priority: show Luka they're serious about surrounding him with pieces that fit his style. If he felt unsupported or out of place, there was the danger he might bolt the moment he could test free agency, or worse, request an early exit. Amid this swirl of chaos, one pressing matter looms. The Lakers need to lock Luka into a long-term deal. But how do you convince a superstar to commit to your franchise if he's struggling to find his rhythm and losing games to the league's cellar dwellers? The front office must do more than promise a bright future. They have to demonstrate it with tangible moves. Another scoring big man, improved bench depth, and a definitive offensive plan might be the bare minimum to keep Luka content. Should they fail, the consequences could be dire. Teams all over the league would happily clear cap space and assets to pursue Luka in free agency. The idea of him teaming up with another superstar on a roster built around his skill set is both thrilling and terrifying to LA fans. There's no guarantee he'll look back fondly on an underwhelming experience with the Lakers, and if management can't right the ship, he might seek greener pastures as soon as the opportunity arises. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking for the Lakers to keep LeBron's championship window ajar while transitioning to the new era. The plan was to let Luka be the next face of the franchise, but if they can't piece together a cohesive roster, both short-term championship aspirations and long-term stability could crumble. In the end, the Lakers' trade for Luka Don was both shocking and brimming with potential. Overnight, they acquired an offensive savant, a player capable of carrying teams deep into the playoffs on the strength of his creativity and scoring alone. Yet what fans have seen so far is a far cry from the MVP-level play they expected. Instead, Luka's been out of sync, struggling on defense, and watched as the team dropped winnable games. Some might write it off as early growing pains, a mere bump in the road before the Lakers finally discover a winning formula. Others fear this is a symptom of a deeper structural problem, an offense that can't accommodate two ball-dominant stars without a proper supporting cast. If the Lakers can't get Luka healthy and happy, surrounded by a system that leverages his unique strengths, they risk losing one of the brightest talents of this generation. Above all, this situation forces us to re-examine the trade that shocked the NBA world. Was shipping out multiple assets, including a star big man in Anthony Davis, truly the best path forward? Will Rob Pelinka's vision of a Luka-centric Lakers future pay off, or will it collapse under the weight of poorly timed injuries, questionable signings, and a clash of playing styles between two alpha playmakers? In a league where the difference between success and failure can hinge on a single inbound pass or a miscommunicated pick and roll, the stakes couldn't be higher. Lakers fans may have dreamed of show-stopping synergy between LeBron and Luka, but the reality has been far more turbulent. Still, there's a sense that if and when Luka finds his groove, the possibilities could be endless. The coming months will reveal whether this is merely a rocky start to a legendary partnership or a sign of irreconcilable differences. Only time will tell if Luka's stint in Los Angeles is destined for a quick, ignominious end, or if it's the start of a new era that will redefine the Lakers once LeBron finally hangs up his jersey. One thing is certain: every NBA fan will be watching closely. So what do you think? Is Luka Don set to become the next iconic Lakers star who eventually hangs championship banners in the rafters? Or is this entire experiment doomed to fizzle out before it ever truly takes flight? Let us know your thoughts. And until we see how it all plays out, keep your eyes on the Lakers and the evolving saga of Luka Don in Hollywood.